This is WWE superstar The Miz, and on behalf of Armstrong, we want to remind you to stay safe and that we're all in this together.
Oh yeah, I'm WWE superstar Otis, and you're watching Lonny Boy's house show on Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Don't miss Friday Night SmackDown Friday nights on Fox.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lonny Boy's house show. Big stuff happening in the world of wrestling. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. And it's time to start discussing things of what's going on. We're talking Thunderdome and WWE. We're talking all sorts of crazy stuff happening for this pay-per-view coming up. But first, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw, guys. And I'll start with Right Hook Ray, of course, with us, and of course, Mafia Bob. That's right, Mafia Bob. And people in the background there, too. We're going to have to ask everybody and their family members to be quiet. Okay? All right. Good, we got that settled.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, listen. Monday Night Raw. Ray, I'm going to start with you. That first hour and a half last night of just Monday Night Raw from the August 20th show, or the August 17th show, that is incredibly painful. I mean, let's start with Retribution, first of all. I don't get it.
Do we have
if this
to?
is the CM Punk vehicle to bring if this is the CM Punk vehicle to bring CM Punk back, I can't believe he signed off on it. Ray?
As a CM Punk fan, I hope to God this is not the vehicle to bring him back. This is just a bad idea. It's a poor execution, and it's awful. The only thing that I could think of it's to present new people, and I'm thinking I hope one of the new people is probably the Rock, just to bring her up finally, because I don't see her starting in NXT. I think she'll go roster, and this might be the right way to bring her in. That's the only positives I could see coming from this is if she's in this period. Other than that, anything else, it's going to be kind of flat.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird timing too. We're seeing people getting like beaten, drag out of cars, and burning buildings down, and we're fantasizing about anarchists running around WWE. I mean, I get it; it's production, art imitates life. Mafia Bob, your thoughts?
I don't like it. It's just been, and they've done it. They could have done it in a better way. It's just so cheesy the way they've used it. That's the problem with it. And whatever happened to the computer guy controlling everything with all the hidden secrets? Does he have something to do with this Retribution? I don't know. I mean, they kind of just left that in the lurch too. You don't know what's going on with that. And Retribution is cutting all the mics out and everybody's just running scared from them. Come on. I mean, they could have done it in a better way. And like you said, they're just taking the headlines and trying to get feed from it. And to me, it's just lame. I mean, they got better stuff than that. Come on.
I agree. And Ray, let me kick it back over to you. We saw the first hour of Raw last night. Everything was all about interruptions. We're talking about, R-Truth interrupting MVP. We're talking about, which I thought was one of the weirdest things. What is Seth Rollins doing interrupting a match? They bring Mickie James back. She's fighting Natalia.
For what?
And Seth Rollins walks out, and literally the camera goes away from the ring action to deal with Seth and Joe talking. They got so much time to kill. And, then they bring a Retribution to float in between all this. Then they bring, it was like scrambled eggs that didn't even taste good, Ray.
Isn't that the beauty of this being 3 hours? Isn't that the point of this being 3 hours? I don't know if this is just someone had a brain fart last night, or is this their way of being cutting edge and zany, and something to throw us off the week before SummerSlam, and this is a way to get interest, but it was just all over the road and weird. I don't mind the Natalia match. It was nice to see them back on television. Kind of helps out a little bit, but nothing really
Mickey
made
James
sense.
back. It would have been great to see a 10-minute match. Get a 10-minute match, God forbid.
Ironic. The only thing that ironically makes sense, and it's just because I'm not a big fan of the name yet, honestly, has been the Hurt Business. That's really been it. The Hurt Business has been like the saving grace for all this, and hopefully they do the right thing with it. But I'm gonna not hold my breath to see if that will actually happen.
All right. Well, listen, I think MVP's been killing it on the mic and been the best part of that. Bob, have you been following the Hurt Business at all?
Yeah.
Sheldon Moore got the 24/7 belt back, which I think is ridiculous. Just give it to R-Truth forever in perpetuity. Just let R-Truth have it forever.
Right.
Comedy belt on a comedy guy.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, Ray, we know you're not a big R-Truth fan, but yeah, just let him run around chasing the ninjas.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It's hilarious. But yeah, as for Benjamin, let him have a shot at a real title. He deserves that. Instead of, like you said,
right. They got Hardy
title.
over at SmackDown. They got Hardy over at SmackDown.
I think all this.
Why, fighting AJ Lee. Give AJ Lee something a little bit different.
AJ Styles.
Isn't AJ Lee writing books?
Or, did I say AJ Styles? I say AJ Lee.
Yeah.
I messed that up. AJ Styles. AJ Lee. Now, if there was something to get messed up and get cut out of the show, it's that. But that's going to be on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get punked for that, too. So, anyway, AJ Styles, you think, Sheldon would be a much better matchup and storyline than Hardy. I think they got some people in the wrong brands, Ray.
That, and also AJ Shelton would probably be a fresher matchup because it's never happened as far as I know. And we have probably seen Jeff and AJ in Impact. Granted, I know it was a different Jeff, but there's been 20 different versions of Jeff. I get why people like Jeff Hardy. I just never been a Jeff Hardy guy. Matt's better, even though this AEW version sucks. But it just give AJ fresher matchups. Like give AJ matchups that everyone's thought of or wish could happen that thought would never happen. Like, no offense, we've seen AJ Jeff Hardy at some point in time.
Oh, absolutely.
Like AJ, AJ, and as much as I'm not totally on board yet, but the bro guy, maybe it might be too soon. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now, but yeah, like maybe him, but it freshen up the stuff because AJ deserves better, and he should have a long reign. In my opinion, he should be the guy to break the honky tonk man streak, but that'll probably not happen. But
nobody breaks the honky tonk man streak. Nobody. That's a sacred legendary run.
Don't you think too? You could put anybody in there with AJ, and it's going to be a good match.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Except maybe Drew McIntyre, maybe.
Oh, I
Be
knew
like,
that was
oh,
coming.
Kramer kick. Oh, we kick you with my Scottish boot.
We knew
Because that
that
will
Drew
probably be a
anyway,
McIntyre hating
5-star
was
match of the
gonna
year.
come.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
But
know
what
the
are we doing with
McIntyre
our
hatred
champions?
has never failed.
Well, let's take the tail of the tape here and look at our champions. Braun Strowman, great storyline. Not even really wrestling. Drew McIntyre,
Preach.
what storyline? What storyline? What they got Drew McIntyre into?
Randy Orton.
Tell me, Ray.
And
I
it,
love that.
and
But
it
no.
starts.
Randy Orton's been like dealing with. They bring Shawn Michaels back into Raw. Who'd they bring in last week? Diamond Dallas Page?
Ric Flair.
I mean, who else are they going to bring back? You got Ric
He
Flair. I
won't
mean,
blow
what else are they
Flair
going to bring back here?
because Orton's a legend killer. All they're doing is just polishing up the whole legend killer thing. And it's Randy Orton. You can't go wrong
Right.
with Randy Orton. You
No,
cannot
you
find anything
can't.
negative about Randy Orton. And Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton is a far better thing than watching Braun Strowman or, excuse me, bald headed, I want to be Stone Cold Strongman Strowman taking on Bray Wyatt. I'm sorry. This Braun Strowman thing is 2 years past. He's awful. He's shaving his head because this is their Hail Mary chance to make him like a Steve Austin when he's absolutely not. Just put the belt on Bray. They should never have taken it off of Bray. And then let's move on to possibly then let's move on to a Bray Wyatt Big E thing, and let's just have Braun just take a break. Strong man can take a break.
You know what? I'll let Bob comment. Go ahead, Bob. You're over
Stone
there
Cold
agreeing with
Strong
Ray.
man can take 5.
I am agreeing with Ray because the Fiend thing was so on fire, and then they took the belt from him. That was one of the dumbest moves they ever did.
I
And
agree. That was a dumb
I just
move.
want to see more and more. I keep wanting to see more and more of the Fiend. They're hardly giving him any airtime for the storyline. They need to keep pushing the Fiend thing. I'm still digging the Fiend with the Strowman thing. I don't know. It's not real good. The Alexa Bliss, they could make that good, I believe, but I doubt they will because
I'm sorry, that's
they kind
hot.
of screw up the story.
That's hot. Alexa Bliss becoming Sister Abigail is hot. That's hot stuff. That's going to put butts. That's going to put eyeballs on the screen. That'll put eyeballs on the screen, Ray.
The reason why I put eyeballs on like the screen is simply because she's drop dead gorgeous and actually works. But ironically, it won't totally work because no one cares about Braun Strowman right now. And that's going to be the problem. And it's nothing against Strowman.
You'd be surprised if people do care about Braun Strowman.
Yes, Braun
You'd be
Strowman's
surprised.
Sure.
Just like a lot of this thing, a lot of people didn't think that people were going to care about Otis and this Mandy Rose deal. They're selling more T-shirts off that bit than they are Drew Claymore Barrymore and whatever the hell he's got going on. They're selling it better, baby, and you know it.
And you know what? All those people that are so infatuated by like this Otis thing are probably the same people that honestly make those awful TikTok videos too. Kudos, congratulations, thanks. Like, come on, man. It doesn't matter. Thanks. like, that's such a weak comeback. Come on. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
You don't think that's
sorry?
Mafia Bob? Don't you think the Mandy Otis thing is one of the most
They're
fun
dragging
things?
it
People
on
want to
too
forget
long.
about life, guys.
They are dragging it on, but
No, she's a soccer mom now.
Yeah, and that's yes,
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
Mandy Rose.
They got soccer.
The gorgeous Mandy Rose.
She's got Mandy Rose soccer mom T-shirts out right now, and I'm going to buy one.
I saw
because it's hilarious.
I saw, and come on. No one on earth would ever think of her in any way, shape, or form as a soccer mom. Stop it.
Well, they are now. She's got her own T-shirt.
No.
Now she's going to have the big
so,
match.
I believe it.
I believe it. And they're going to have the big match now, the hair for hair match on SummerSlam. And matter of
Mass
fact, I can't
hypnosis.
wait for SummerSlam. I'm actually digging
We all
this
know who's
upcoming
gonna win that
SummerSlam and
match.
can't wait to watch it. What's that, Bob?
We know who's going to win that match.
Yeah, I think it's
Mandy
kind of
Rose.
it's kind of been tipped.
Yeah, Mandy's going to win.
Yeah, and like no offense, they aren't gonna make a
I don't
soccer
know.
mom shirt for her to cut her hair. That
Selling
would be a waste of
T-shirts,
production.
baby. Why are you so angry?
So wait a minute, they'll make T-shirts for her to sell for 4 days, 5 days, and then have her shave her head to look like us, kind of. Oh yeah, that's just brilliant business. Just brilliant.
Hey,
But
Mandy
what do
Rose,
I
Mafia
know?
Bob.
Sounds like
Sitting at
Am I
home
right or
talking
wrong?
about it.
Ray, we're going to prove Ray wrong here. Mandy Rose is of the people. She's one of us. She's a soccer mom.
I'm not a soccer mom.
No. Yeah,
You
I'm
are a
pretty
soccer
sure I'm
mom.
not a soccer mom. Pretty sure I'm not a soccer mom, and Mandy Rose is probably the quintessential prom queen, and all of us are just the wallflowers that don't go to the dance. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Just that.
man.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Pretty
Well, I
sure
mean,
that's
we're
us.
finally
Ray,
getting to see
dropping the
Mandy
truth
Rose
bombs
step up
again.
into a bigger fight. You know, we're going to see her
Pretty
longtime
sure.
partner, too,
And
finally get a spotlight show or, a spotlight match on a pay-per-view. I think that's great.
it will be great, but
I mean, Sonya Deville
they
deserves
both
this.
deserve a little better. It will be great, but both deserve a little better than a hair versus hair match. I mean,
they're
yeah,
funny, come on.
it's old school. It is, and it is old school, but they kind of deserve to be in the
But
SmackDown title
wrestling's
picture a
not
little bit
fun.
more.
Right, Ray?
That's right.
What's
It's
that?
not meant to be funny. It's not meant to be fun. It's not meant to be fun and like be like a carnival. Sorry. Wrestling is not meant to be about ring toss and tilt-a-whirl. If you want that, then you know what? Watch on Wednesdays from 8 to 10. And then you can get plenty of that
Ooh.
on TNT. You can get that on TNT plenty.
Man,
And Tuesday nights on YouTube.
you're part of the Hurt. You're part of the Hurt crew right now.
No,
Hey,
I am
you're
part
like-
of
AEW
I'm part of the
against-
honest
you're
business.
against-
this.
You're against everything
I'm
right
part of the
now.
honest business. I'm not. No, I'm not.
Honest business.
I'm just honest. I'm
All
part
right,
of
I
the
get
honest
you.
business.
All right.
The honest business.
But you know what? Let's be honest here. They're finally giving, Ruby Riot's back now. They finally brought back the Riot Squad in a simple form. Just to try to give some of the mid-card a little bit of attention. I mean, right now they're also trying to give, Belair some attention. They're finally giving Shayna Baszler some attention. That was, you know what?
The Iconics.
What did you
have
think of the
been getting
Nia
attention,
Jax?
too.
Well, the Iconics too, yes. What do you think of Nia Jax knocking out the plexiglass on Shayna Baszler? Ray, did you see that? Nia Jax off a suspension, knocks the plexiglass.
They're now trying to make her. They're now trying to set her up to be this big monster, and I feel like they've tried this like numerous times, and it just hasn't worked, and it's not her fault. And they're doing it against the wrong person. They're doing it against the wrong person.
Shayna Baszler's not
Nia
the person
Jax,
you want. No, you're right.
Yeah. Sorry, Nia Jax can probably be the biggest, meanest person, but Shayna Baszler is just a total badass, and I will take Shayna Baszler every single time. Period.
I agree. Listen, Mafia Bob, what do you think of Shayna Baszler?
Yeah.
Do you think this is heir apparent women's champion? I mean, I was surprised. First of all, hold on. And I'll let Ray take some time too, but Mafia Bob, were you surprised Asuka won the Women's Rumble? I thought it was going to be Baszler or somebody else, not Asuka. Yes.
Well, what? Now Asuka's wrestling 2 matches at SummerSlam, right?
Exactly. It didn't
I
make much
mean-
sense to me, Ray.
I mean, no, do you really believe she's going to win either one of those belts? I don't think so.
I have no idea what they're trying to do with 2 matches for Asuka.
I wasn't surprised simply because workhorses do workhorse things, and that's Asuka. I think at SummerSlam she'll win one of them, and then that'll probably give everyone this long overdue split that everyone wants. I wasn't surprised. I kind of wanted someone new, but Asuka is Asuka, and that's always the right move to go with. And honestly, we wouldn't have to go through all this if honestly Shayna was dual champ. Personally, all this could have easily been avoided if Shayna was champion.
Well, I mean, I think Shayna's going to get one of those belts eventually. It's going to happen.
She has
I mean-
to. She has to.
You know,
You
physically,
would think, as much as they've promoted her.
yeah. Do you know who's 1 star they should be bringing in, guys? And you can correct me if I'm wrong. And this is one of your NXT things there, Ray. You're the most lively show in wrestling entertainment. NXT.
The most honest
But
show
they need to bring in
in the business.
They need to bring in Shotzi
Don't
Blackheart.
say it.
That's what they need.
I knew
Bring in
you were going
Shotzi
to
Blackheart.
say that.
You don't
Oh
like
my
Shotzi
God.
Blackheart.
You are
Man.
killing me, Smalls. You know that? You're killing me. Out of all the talent on that roster, in that division, out of everybody there, Shotzi Blackheart,
Yeah,
because of
because she's fun.
because of a little Tonka toy tank that she drives down the ring. Really?
That is badass.
Really? You would.
Bobby Bob, what's your
You
thoughts on
would be that
Shotzi
demographic
Blackheart?
that loves it.
Lon,
She's
what,
not
what
ready
did
yet.
you just say?
The
Because
guy,
it's
the
fun.
army guy who likes tanks? Because I was in the army.
Because it's fun. Oh, don't use that as
It
a
is
cop
fun.
out. Stop it.
Wrestling
Stop using it
isn't
as a
fun.
cop-out.
Bob, what are your thoughts?
If you
Wrestling's supposed to be fun.
want fun,
Bob, what are your
then
thoughts
watch
on
old
Shotzi
G.I. Joe
Blackheart?
cartoons.
She's entertaining. I don't. I don't know if she should be the first one to really bring up from NXT though. I mean,
Out of that group,
there's a lot
God,
more
no.
talent there than. Well, we know how Ray feels.
They need to bring Walter in from NXT. That's what they need. They need
That
to get
obviously
Walter
makes
off
sense.
of NXT and back into like the big show where he can actually be a big talent.
Well, I'm
Oh,
sure
get out of here.
because worldwide circumstances, that's probably why he's not over here and on TV because of this lovely, COVID thing. Otherwise, he probably would be on TV.
Yeah,
But
that's true. That's
Walter,
true. That's
yes.
a good way of thinking about it.
Shotzi Blackheart, I think we can give a hard pass to and give it to a Tegan Knox or Io Shirai or Candice LeRae or Mia Yim. Like
I don't know any of those people.
straight to the.
You don't know anything. Tegan Knox, I agree with Ray on that.
Those names wrestle. Yeah, because those names I mentioned wrestle and don't don't drive toys to like the ring. Sorry.
All right. Let's talk about some riveting stuff here. Your boy Seth Rollins is now mixed up with the son of Rey Mysterio Jr. Guys, when is this storyline gonna die? There's something else Seth Rollins could be doing. Honest to goodness, Bob.
Hopefully this
Bob, I'll
Sunday.
let you take it first.
Yeah,
Hopefully this Sunday.
I get
Will,
more
Bob.
entertainment. Like what happened with the Seth and Kokomo Joe or Seth and Kevin Owens, that's who I want to see with Seth, not Dominic Mysterio in a street match. Come on. I mean, there's way more talent out there to shove with Seth that could work better than Dominic Mysterio. And the whole missing eye thing on everybody, come on. And what, Rey Mysterio is going to be out there during the match, and and then
Ray,
what
what do you
happened? What happened to our boy Ray, the other guy that Lon don't like either?
Isn't it Murphy?
Forget his name right now. It's slipping my mind.
Isn't it Murphy?
Aleister Black. What happened to him? Where did he go?
Oh yeah, Aleister. Oh well, I guess Seth and Murphy took Aleister's eye out, and like he has the whole pirate thing going on. So I hope this feud ends Sunday. I'm nervous about this match because I want to see what Dominic
you are
can
nervous
do.
about it. You know why? That's why I like tanks, Ray. That's why I like tanks.
Are we still on this? Are we still on the tank thing? Oh man, like it's like dealing with a
What if Seth
5-year-old.
Rollins? Seth Rollins drove a little tank down.
Yeah, that would
And
help
then
him out quite
if
a
Seth
bit.
no,
I mean,
that would
the whole
absolutely
wrestling
tell him
Jesus
to go
thing's
home.
getting old. I don't know.
Agreed.
Yeah, you're nervous about this
It
match
is
this
dry.
weekend because you know it's going to suck. All right.
It has all the elements to be bad, but it has some elements to not be too shabby. It all comes down to what Dominic can do, and hopefully what Seth doesn't say. If he says anything at all, I would really appreciate that.
He's going to talk for 25 minutes.
Be.
You know he is.
Then, no offense, if there's a fast forward option to move on to a match in live time, I will greatly do that. No offense, but like after this, Seth needs a break to just go and restart the battery because this whole Monday night Jesus thing it's bad. The only guy that really should do anything Monday night anything is Rod Van Dam, and Seth's not RVD. So there you go.
All right.
Wow.
Now let's talk a little bit about AEW, guys. I know Mafia Bob said he's not enjoying it right now. I'm still enjoying it. He takes a.
I'm good.
All right.
It's just
I can't get my camera straight. I keep. What's that?
You can't get your camera straight? It sounds a lot like AEW.
No, it's. Listen, at least AEW's wrestling, okay? At least there's action in the ring, Ray. That's what's killing me about
but
WWE right now.
20-minute matches? Come on.
That's wrestling.
Bob. They aren't 20-minute matches. They are 20 minutes of gymnastics and tumbling with horrible acting and comedy thrown in and like a sprinkle of wrestling.
I know, because Ray would rather see a fight at Hogwarts Castle, like between Slytherin House and Gryffindor. Lightning crowds, evil revenge. The Dark Lord will come.
That first tag match last week on AEW was so typical of every other tag match. You had 3 guys doing triple suplexes on each other, guys doing somersault swanton bombs off the top rope into 4 other guys all through the match, and it was 20-minute long match. It just gets old. Every week it's the same thing.
Would you rather hear Seth Rollins talk for 30 minutes?
To say. It's just as bad.
Actually, wrestling is. Listen, last night on Raw, the only wrestling we actually got to see is when finally Sasha Banks and Bayley had their match. And that was still interrupted. They still interrupted that match with Nia Jax.
And AEW does the same thing when they interrupt a decent wrestling segment with a cheesy debate, a scrambled egg disaster of what's a tag team match, and cheesy characters doing lame WWE comedy that they want to do, but they can't do on WWE's time because they're not good enough to do it. Right? But wait,
no, were you
I
kidding me?
actually
Chris
have a
Jericho's
positive.
not good enough to do it.
Are
Chris
we really
Jericho
going
is
to talk
good enough
about
to do
Chris
any of that.
Jericho?
MJF is good enough
Have,
to do any
have,
of that. We're talking Orange
that's where it
Cassidy
starts and
is
ends.
good enough to do that.
See, now that whole thing is null and void just right there. Stop. And Chris Jericho's not even Chris Jericho. Last week's match against Orange Cassidy was an absolute embarrassment. Chris Jericho looks out of shape and fat, and that's coming from an out of shape fat guy saying that. He looks old. I thought I would never, and he's doing the cheesy comedy stuff that honestly he wasn't supposed to do. He's supposed to be teaching these young guys what not to do. Instead, he's doing everything that they do to fit in. But bright side, AEW, fair, but AEW is honestly giving us good gymnastics to make up for no like summer games. They are doing an excellent job of doing that. Phenomenal.
Man, alive.
Mafia Bob? Every Wednesday I have not missed a balancing bar routine at all because of a Young Bucks match or just any tag match period. It has been great.
Man, you hate the young. Why do you hate the Young Bucks so much?
I like the Young Bucks. The only thing I don't like about the Young Bucks is they're very, I hate using this term on our show, but butthurt attitude about killing the business. That is the only thing I don't like. That's the only thing. Other than that, they are a fun team. They honestly can offer some positive things, but they're hell bent on doing all the negative because their owner is like the ultimate Mark con man. Which, don't get me started, because all he is just a billionaire son who has just sold a bill of goods and lied to everyone. And he's just a con man who wants to be Orange Cassidy. And yeah, that totally is just a joke in itself right there. So screw Tony Khan.
I pray for your soul. I'm going to church this Sunday. Yeah, I'm going to pray for you, Ray. I would say, dear Lord, give Ray some happiness in wrestling. Let him see the fun side of
and
him.
Tony,
let him laugh a little bit.
And Tony Khan will more than likely be there too, hoping to find some better ideas, fresher ideas too, because clearly he doesn't have any. Clearly he doesn't have any.
All right, Ray, Bob, I'll give you the final word here on AEW.
I was a big AEW fan from the beginning. I loved the way it started out. And I got to say, Ray called this from the beginning, though. He said, give it time and see what happens. And it has. They just went down that same lame path. They wanted to be something different. And they still are preaching to be something different, but you watch them every day. I get Lon, your grandson's in the background making faces at us. That's hilarious. And
because he hears the gospel of truth.
Out of here.
Because he hears me telling the truth. That's what that is.
It's a thing in show business. Never work with kids and animals. I'll tell you.
Then stop watching AEW then.
Hey, he's a Seth Rollins fan now. Last night he declared himself a Seth Rollins fan. Yes, he left Bray Wyatt. No, he didn't leave Bray Wyatt, but now he's a Seth Rollins fan. He likes WWE Jesus. All righty, guys. We're here down to our We got SummerSlam coming up here.
He's better
We're going
than
to get our
Marco
final
Stunt.
thoughts out of the way. And don't be bashing Marco Stunt either. He gives his all. He tries hard.
I would too if I was 2 feet tall.
Golly.
2
Hey,
feet tall.
Luchasaurus actually
and like an
talked
absolute
last
joke.
week. Luchasaurus actually talked
And
last
he's
week.
great.
That guy's a beast.
Yeah.
That guy's a
They don't
beast.
need
But all
Marco
they do-
Stunt.
All they do is use
They
him to
don't need
throw
It's a
Marco
fun
Stunt at
dynamic.
people.
Run around. And it's
Exactly.
stupid.
You throw Marco
It is
Stunt at
completely
people.
stupid.
It's a fun dynamic. No, it's not, Ray. It's fun.
There's
They
no
know
fun
if
in
they
Throw
wrestling.
Marco
then-
Stunt if you had him out.
Yeah, off of a
All right.
cliff. I'd throw him off of a cliff
Oh, oh my God.
and hope that he
I
would
am gonna
never
pray
get
for
into
you.
a ring again.
All right, Mafia Bob, let's get your final thoughts. What do you think? Where's your final thoughts at in the world of wrestling right now?
I'm getting pumped for SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam should be pretty good this year. And then what?
Oh,
Is
my,
it a
I'm
week later?
jacked
Is
for it.
Backlash? And right, is the following week Backlash, Ray, or is it 2 weeks after that, or?
It might be
Backlash
a
is
couple weeks,
soon,
a few weeks
actually.
after.
Isn't Backlash NXT? Isn't
Anyhow,
that
yeah.
Friday night?
It might be
Well, what's the
because I know the
pay-per-view? There's
NXT
a
I don't know,
30.
whatever.
I
Well,
know
if there
I
is,
know
we
the
don't know
NXT
because they
30 is
ain't
either
telling them
Friday
the
or
right way.
Saturday.
All right, well, what's your
Yeah,
final thoughts?
hold
There's
on,
a
I'm
person
Bob?
like
I'm doing my final thoughts. They're yelling at me to go help with dinner. I got my final thoughts to do though. But yeah. So what? Rumors too. I'm hearing they're going to bring back Saturday night's main event. Did you hear about that? Oh.
Mafia Bob he's got drilled with a cookie pan.
Man,
My God, what about the chocolate chips? He got drilled with a cookie
you order
pan.
cookies now.
Wow,
They told me to hurry up with dinner.
that had to hurt.
Oh. It didn't.
But you're all right there,
A little
Bob.
adjustment maybe. Yeah, I'm good to go.
Gee whiz.
Oh.
Wow.
Anyhow, yeah. Did you hear that
Okay.
rumor? They're going to bring back Saturday night main event.
Why?
I
That'd
don't
be
know.
my
Yeah.
question.
that's
Listen.
a rumor.
Listen, I understand
They
why they
want- they
brought
want
the
another-
underground in.
Joe,
Well, here's the deal: is you got employees that you're paying, and I understand the whole business decision. You've got a roster of talent you're paying to do nothing, literally right now. So I understand why they're trying to develop the underground. They probably could, develop a Saturday night, which I think the underground would be better on a Saturday night than Monday night.
It will
It's just
work
me?
better.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I can
Mhm.
understand that too. All right, good final thoughts there, Mafia Bob. Right Hook Ray, what are your final thoughts?
I'm still on the fence with Underground. I wish they would get more. Just cut out some of the production aspect and get more gritty. Make it more of an underground MMA feel and showcase the athletes that can do it and do it more frequently. And with AEW, I don't want it to fail. I don't want it to bomb. I just want them to be consistent and give us what they promised to give us a long time ago, and just slow down on all the funny stuff, because all they're doing is doing their shtick of WWE, and they're not giving us an alternate to WWE. They're giving us alternative WWE, when honestly they have a great chance to do something to separate themselves, and they're not, because they have a joke of an owner leading them. Like I just don't understand. And as far as all these online comps of Moxley being Austin and MJF being The Rock, and some of those
Oh,
comparisons
those
are
are
just
silly.
ridiculous. Those are just
They're
ridiculous.
silly.
And those are from those irrational hardcore fans who just hate the WWE product. But I want AEW to do well. I just want them to just give us what you promised when you started this grassroots promotion, and not say we're sports based and records count, and none of that's coming true. Like give us pro wrestling, not county fair garbage wrestling. How about that? Is that honestly too much to ask? Must be.
Ray, I'm going to leave it there with you, buddy. That was a great final thought. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. Obviously, that's just what you want. You just want to argue.
I don't want to argue.
So anyway,
but
let me,
like Mafia Bob said earlier, I called this. Didn't I not call this several months ago? Right on the head. I called this.
the ratings are
I
still
said
doing
after
well.
3 months.
It's still doing
Yeah,
well. People are
because
still
guess
tuning
what?
in.
Their
That's
audience
because
tunes
fun.
WWE's
in
ratings
strictly.
suck so bad.
Their audience tunes in strictly because their audience have no life and never leave the house. That's why.
Oh my Lord. God.
Come on, man.
All right, let me give my final thoughts. Listen, WWE, they're promoting the Thunderdome. They have a huge chance to knock things out of the park at SummerSlam. But here's the deal, and I'm afraid of this. You're going to start going to pre-production and producing wrestling matches as like small videos and small movies or short films. Let me tell you what, when you get back in front of the live audiences again, that's all going to have to go away. And they're going to have to get back into doing it live. And like I said, while I've liked some of the production and have enjoyed it, I still can't wait for the live stuff to come back, because the live matches is what separates the good wrestlers from the bad wrestlers. Period.
Agreed.
That's why EW's ratings are better. Anyway, said to get that final thought in there.
Oh my God.
Hey, I'd like to thank our executive producer Kevin for taping. Everybody, let's drop us a line. We're on Armstrong's YouTube channel. Drop us a line if there's a topic you want us to discuss. Let us know. I'm Lonny Boy, Right Hook Ray, Mafia Bob. You guys have a great night. Take care, everybody.
See ya.
I'm WWE superstar Alexa Bliss, and you're watching Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Watch me on Friday Night SmackDown on Fox.